and welcome to Special Stage, where we're here in Ebervale for the final round of the Britpart All-Wheel Drive Safari Championship. But before we get down to today's action, let's catch up on what happened at round 7. The AWDC crews would be joined this weekend by the Staffordshire and Shropshire Car Club, making it a packed entry with plenty of competition. On to the first couple of runs then, and it would be the early lead for Rob Scone. 5 seconds of an advantage after run 2, and one that they would be looking to hold on to through the rest of the day. Kevin Stubbs will be the closest to Scone at this time and leading the way for the visiting crews. The times were close, Stubbs just putting in the fastest time on run 2, but would he be able to continue doing that in the afternoon? This weekend would be some seat time for Adrian Marfell, the car having been undergoing some work for quite a while, including switching from left to right-hand drive after buying the car in France. Things were going well at this stage, with 3rd place overall. And for Oliver Arnold at this stage, it would be 4th place. The times between the top few places were close, Arnold just 5 seconds back from Marfell at this stage, and 3rd in the 8i class. Sadly for Chris Bird, there would be problems from the start, pulling over at one point on the first run with problems in the car, but once fired back up, he would make it to the end of the stage for a look-in service. A much better time on run 2 would keep him near the top of the results in 5th place for now. The overall time after run 2 for Bird would actually be one he shares with Wyn Williams, 6th overall at this stage, and tied on times with class and overall positions to fight for going into the next couple of runs. It would be a further 8 seconds back to Warren Roper after run 2, lying in 7th place overall, but leading the way in the 6i class and by a considerable margin at this stage. And it would be the lead in Class 8 for Ian Childs. The time's still quite close, with just 7 seconds between himself and Roper ahead. And it would be just 2 seconds back to 9th place. Stephen Strutt taking that place early on, leading the way in Class 7 as well with those run times. And rounding out the top 10 would be Martin Hounsell, a little off the usual pace in his class, But the mixed championships here this weekend will be spreading the AWDC results a little. Hansel actually lying 5th of the AWDC crews at this stage. In some of the classes outside the top 10, it would be second in the 7i class for Steve Mitchell, 13th place overall, and around 40 seconds of the class leader Marfell. For Mike Coward, there would be around 17 seconds separating him from the class 8's lead, second in class for now, and lying in 15th overall. Just behind on the overall results in 16th overall, it would be third in the 7i class for Tom Rimmel, 13 seconds off his closest class rival. For Ivan Dudley, it would be 4th in that class, just behind Rimmel on the overall results in 17th, as well as the class, and with 8 seconds to find in the next couple of runs. Martin Jones ends these couple of runs with 3rd place in class 8, currently one of the most popular classes in the championship, with almost half of the entry falling into this class. And 4th in that class would be Gareth Taylor, 19th overall, and just 4 seconds back from Jones ahead. And for AWDC regular Rob Ball, it would be 5th in the class. He would just be worrying about the championship points in order to make sure of a result by the end of the season. Ian Archer takes the early lead in class 4, a lead of 28 seconds in that class, and lying in 34th place overall. 37th overall for Lee Potter, second in class 7, but the gap to the overall class lead was a substantial one. And it would be a similar story for Andy Kent, second in the 6i class, but the gap to the leaders was growing, and up to a few minutes now. For David Roberts, it would be second place in class 4, 28 seconds down, but certainly within sight of the class lead. The gap to 3rd place would be a little bigger, just over a minute separating Rich Mitchell from 2nd in class, as he lies in 42nd overall. But the times in that place were closer, with Chris Bowler ending the morning with 4th place in that class, and just 10 seconds back from Mitchell. And just the one driver in class 3, but sadly for Tom Harris, a maximum on stage 2 would put him at the bottom of the results. So with 2 runs complete, the results look like this. On to the afternoon, and before we look at the overall results, the Safari Light Championship would be out again this weekend. Less runs, but no less challenging. Sadly for Jordan Shirley, the event would be short-lived, crashing out on the first run. A few injuries for the crew, but all okay and on the road to recovery soon afterwards. On to the finishes, and it would be 4th place for Adrian Beer. A crash on the final run, stopping any chances of a top 2 or 3 finish. In the podium places, it would be 3rd for Mike Cheriton, 4 minutes back from 2nd place at the end of the event. And in that 2nd place would be Lee Newcomb, ending the event in the runner-up spot, but taking the class win in the process. But that means it's the win for Bruce Mallett, taking victory by 2 minutes at the end of the event. Unfortunately, a few accidents during the day combined with the big entry mean that only 5 runs will be possible this weekend. So let's take a look at the results from the end of the event. In Class 4, it would still be 4th in the class for Chris Bowler at the end of the event, finishing the day with 49th overall. Sadly for Steve Mitchell, it would be a slip right down the results from 13th place this morning into 41st overall. It would be a place higher for Rich Mitchell, 40th overall, not in the same class battle though, taking 3rd place in Class 4 this weekend. For Andy Kent, it would be a similar story all day, 2nd in the 6i class and ending the event with 36th overall. Unfortunately, David Roberts was unable to gain any more places in the class this afternoon, but 2nd place in Class 4 was a good finish, 35th place overall too. A few places gained overall for Lee Potter in the afternoon runs. He moves up to 32nd overall, but no change to the class as he finishes with 2nd in Class 7. No change in class for Ian Archer in the afternoon stages either, and he didn't want there to be. He takes the win in Class 4 this weekend with a comfortable margin, taking 28th overall in the process. With such a strong Class 8 this weekend, it would be an achievement to reach the finish in the top of the results. And for Gareth Taylor, it would be 5th place in that class this weekend. He is narrowly beaten to a place in that class by David Hooper, 4th place in the class and a single place overall on the results too, with an advantage of 15 seconds over Taylor. And for Alex Day, it would be 3rd in the class, even closer still with just 2 seconds of an advantage in that final podium place this weekend. Rob Bull makes a move the right way up the results to take 2nd in Class 8 this weekend, a little more of an advantage, almost 45 seconds by the finish of the event, but too far back on the lead to have gained any more class places. A good run in the afternoon means that it's a move up the results for Ivan Dudley, jumping up from 5th in the class to 2nd in the 7i class as well as 14th overall. And for Tom Rimmel, it would be a great end to the event as he walks away with a 7i class win after moving up to 15th overall. Sadly for Martin Hounsell, he wouldn't be able to keep his top 10 place, slipping just outside that into 11th, but he does take 5th in the 8i class this weekend and remains 5th of the AWDC finishers. On to that top 10, and it would be 10th place for Colin Davies, finishing the event with 4th in the 8i class after gaining a few places in this afternoon's runs. Stephen Strutt gains a single place to take 9th overall, but more importantly, takes the Class 7 win in the process. A misfire this morning had put James and Tom King down the results, but a much better afternoon will see them climb to take 8th place. Not the top of the results they always aim for, but certainly much better luck than some previous events. No change for Ian Childs. He has a great run this weekend to top the very competitive Class A results, taking the class win and 7th place overall. For Warren Roper, there wouldn't be any change. He finishes the day with 6th place overall and takes the 6i class win in the process. A bad first run for Peter Roberts would put him way down the results. Thankfully, the next few were more kind, and he climbs right up the results and into 5th place at the end of the event. Without the problems on run 1, this easily could have been a challenge for the win. Wyn Williams gains a few places, moving his way up to 4th place by the end of the event, and with it takes the 8i class win. It would be a good weekend for Oliver Arnold. Some good times all day, putting him on the final step of the podium at the end of round 7. And a great outing in the new car for Adrian Marfell as he finishes in 2nd place. Some good times, showing promise for the car and driver combination. A fast package right out of the box. But making the comeback from the first run problems, it would be the win for Chris and Jonathan Bird. And with it, they take the 2015 championship win, and with a record of unbeaten run of wins to take that victory. So at the end of round 7, the results at the finish look like this. So that means Chris Bird takes the win at round 7, and in doing so is the 2015 Britpart all-wheel drive Safari champion. Next up, all of the action from the final round here at sunny Ebervale for round 8. On to the first day of the runs then, and it would be Oliver Arnold who is fastest out of the blocks, taking the lead after the first run of the day, but sadly disaster was strike on the second run, coming into the final corner too hot and rolling the car just before the finish line. Not really the way you would have wanted things to go today.
No, not really. First lap, I think we had a really good solid start, and we sort of set the foundations down for a good sort of day's racing. Second lap, found it more slippery, to be honest, which surprised us on the grass. And towards the end, we had a little mishap. We were pushing hard, and these things happen. We're here to race, and that's what we were doing. So that's the consequence of going full bore, I suppose.
Do you think you were going a little bit fast? We were stood on that corner and you were flying, is the way I would put it.
Oh yeah, but we're here to race, aren't we? So you want to get on, don't you? You know, we were wanting to do a 3:45 or a 3:40 today, and it was there for the making. You've got to just cut the corners. I honestly thought we'd have taken off over that and we'd have glided down probably a bit better than what we did. So a complete driver error, of course it is.
So with the unfortunate early departure of the leader, it would be up to Bruce Tigwell to take the lead on run 2 and hold that to the end of run 3. The course was slippery, but it would be the same for everyone, and there would be no room for error. How's it been going out there for you this
It's
morning?
been really good fun. Yeah, excellent.
It's a bit slippery.
It's slippery, but it's a good flowing course, so it's great fun to drive.
It would be a great start for Justin Brooks, pushing the car to its limits, certainly ready for some power upgrades next season. Thankfully, there was enough of a mix in conditions to allow the car to be competitive, and he lies in second place for now. How's it been going out there for you this morning?
Very good. Yep. We lost a little bit of time on the first one, but those last two we've done well. Seemed to find our rhythm a little bit more, and just losing the power on the uphills a little bit. But we'll sort that out for next year. Don't worry.
Plenty of mud out there for you.
Yeah, there's loads of mud, as you can see. Yeah. Earlier this morning there was some puddles, and I'm not quite sure what was in the puddles, and obviously with no windscreen, straight in the mouth. So it's good. It's good fun.
A puncture on the first run would start the day off badly for Martin Hounsell, but the times were actually still good. He ends the first of the day's runs with third overall and second in the 8i class. How's it been going out there for you?
Pretty good today so far. We're doing good times. We had a puncture on the first lap though. It took a bit of time out, and we just had to change the compressor, which does the air shifting on the vehicle. But the times are good, I think, at the moment. So I'm not sure if we're run down now or not. So we've got a bit of catching up to do. But yeah, pretty good. Having fun.
James and Philippa Tennant make a great start to the day with fourth place overall and third in the 8i class. Finding it slippery like many others would, but having fun on the course and looking to chase down those podium places ahead.
45 left, approaching 90 left. Watch the kick here, watch the kick. Yeah, and through. Dropping down. Approaching, drop down through the gateway. Into slight right. Then caution, you can't get wide on this corner, back. Big gully. Approaching 90 right. Heading through and up we go. Heading up. Over the slight cross rut. Another slight cross rut as we go through the gateway slight right. We almost got this too hot. Sing. Bringing it back down. Heading through. Approaching 45 right, up over hump to drop down into the bomb hole. Line it up. Whoa. Well done. Careful as we drop down. Heading through. 90, finish. Well, that was a bit hairy in places.
How's it been going out there for you this morning?
Well, it's very slippy in places. It certainly keeps you concentrated, but having a lot of fun. I think Bruce has got a few seconds a lap on us, and I'm struggling to find the gap. But we'll keep trying. It's going well so far.
Adrian Marfell brings the new car out for its second outing, but the contrast in the course and conditions from last time out would mean having to learn the car all over again. Going well at this stage with 5th place and the lead in the 7i class. How's it been going out there for you this morning?
So a new car for us. We bought this 12 months ago, so we've just spent the last 12 months getting it ready. So we're actually on our second event, so we're learning the hard way a little bit at the moment. It's it's quite different. We did Walters Arena last weekend, or the weekend before last, which was very smooth and fast. This is quite the opposite, so we're definitely learning a bit at the moment, but enjoying it. Yeah, certainly faster than the old car.
Alex Day makes a great start to the event, ending the morning's first few runs with the lead in Class 8, and once again amongst the strong entry in that class. 6th place on the overall results at this stage too. How's it been going out there for you this morning?
Yeah, no, we're all right. We're bumpy as anything. I think we spent more time in the air than we have on the ground round the back of the motocross track, but yeah, we're quite happy at the moment. So, good day so far.
Just behind in 7th place overall, and indeed just behind in the Class 8 battle, was Bruce Mallett, second in the class at this stage, with just less than 20 seconds to the class leader. How's it been going out there for you this morning?
Yeah, really good. I've done 3 laps now, been really fast. Well, not fast, but it's been very good. Hit a few bumps, a bit too fast, but we're still here and still going. Have some more power for next year and keep up with some of the big guys.
With Justin Brooks out ahead in the 6i class, it would be Simon Crowe taking up second place at this stage, just over a minute down on the class leader, but only 8 seconds behind Mallet ahead in the overall results. For Tom Rimmel, it would be exactly 1 minute difference between the places at the top of the 7i class. Unluckily for him, he was second of those places, but things were still going well, and lying in 9th place overall now. How's it been going out there for you?
Yeah, it's going very well. A few teething problems. We had the gearbox out last time because we broke a gear, and we went to go off on 1 lap and the engine stopped completely, which cost us about 30 seconds. But other than that, going very well.
And rounding out the top 10 would be Rob Ball. The times were looking okay, but he did feel there was more to come. With a little bit more bravery now the track was drying out, for now it would be 3rd place in Class 8. How's it been going out there for you?
Yeah, it's good. It's drying up a bit now, so there's a bit more grip, so it's a little bit faster. But it's pretty rough. It's just having the nerve to jump them rather than drive over them.
There are some biggish jumps out there.
Yeah, there is, definitely. Yeah, there is. It's good fun. The last one, we done more or less cleared like 2 or 3 at a time, like a motocross track, rather than doing them individually. So that's whether we've got the nerve to do it again.
Lee Potter makes a good start to the event to take the Class 7 lead, but unfortunately that was down to lack of other crews in that class. He would be lying in 18th place though, and fighting for some overall places. For Andy Kent, it would be 3rd place in the 6i class at this stage, and lying in 20th overall. How's it been going out there for you this morning?
Good. Yeah, brilliant. Good course, good car. Shame about the driver.
Oh. Have you not got your brave pants on today?
Not today, no. Luckily I share the driving with the chap who owns the car, so he's doing fast times. I'm just cruising around.
For Tony Rooney, it would be 21st overall, a little way back from Kent, but ready to claim the Class 4 victory as the only one in that class. And it would be a similar story for Tom Harris, the only one in Class 3, but a maximum on run 1 would prevent him getting any higher than 23rd for now. And it would be the opposite for Richard Hopkins. A good run on the first lap would be ended with maximums afterwards. So at the end of run 3, the results at the top look like this. On to the next couple of runs, and there would be no change to the lead, with Bruce Tickle still holding the advantage and with a slightly smaller 7 seconds gap to those behind. Still sunny, a few more stages in now, it looks a bit cut up out there.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit more, some more rocks coming up. Yeah, you've got to pick your line carefully now. You come around the corner and there's a rock right in the middle of the track. You've got to obviously get round it. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we do lose Justin Brooks in these runs. A good run in 2nd place, sadly coming to an early end. For Martin Hounsell then, it means a move up to 2nd now, taking the place of Brooks and closing the gap on the leader. All of this morning's little problems behind him now, and he had 4 more runs to try and take that win. Things still going well for you out there?
Yeah, it's still running well at the moment. Trying to take time out of Bruce. He's a few seconds up on us, but he's taking some back and we're taking some out of him. So yeah, very good tussle out, very tight at the top. I made the mistake of telling Adrian Marfell that he was running slow today, and now he's pulled his finger up. So he's taking time out of us. So yeah, going to be interesting. Just hope it carries on going smoothly and see if we can pull a bit of time out.
There would also be some places gained for Adrian Marfell in these runs, moving up to take third place now, and himself closing in on the battle at the front. Are things still going all right out there for you?
Yes, we're a little bit off the pace, I think, but no, we're still enjoying it. It's very rough. It's got pretty bumpy, but no, certainly enjoying it. It's great fun.
Still enjoying the new car then?
Yes, we're learning it. We're definitely learning it as we're going along. It's we're just pushing a little bit harder, but it's about trying to get to the finish. It's always important to finish. It's no point in going balls out and then ending up without a finish. So yeah, we'll try and get it to the end in one piece and the right way up is the plan. But thoroughly enjoying it. It's great fun.
Sadly for James and Philippa Tennant, it would be a place lost, moving from what should have been the final step on the podium into fourth. An overshoot on one of the corners towards the end of the stage was the reason, and it looked unlikely they would get that time back. Few more stages in, how's it going?
Well, unfortunately, we threw it away with an overshoot which cost us 10 seconds, and on a 3-mile course, you're never going to get 10 seconds back, unfortunately. So we were trying to consolidate fourth. I think we're now trying to consolidate fifth. So, you never know what's going to happen. So there's 4 runs to go. So yes, plenty of time for it to get better for us. But we've got about our pace, and I think we know where that is now. So we'll see what happens.
The loss of Brooks means that Simon Crowe takes the lead in the 6i class now. He would be almost a minute back from Tennant in 5th overall, but he does still have a good advantage in the class. How's it been going this afternoon?
Yeah, good. Slippy, but it's good. Yeah, it's a good course. We had a few issues this morning. We had a puncture, broke a CV, but no, we're doing all right. Finishing laps, so I think we're 5th so far overall, so we're doing all right.
No problems for Alex Day, still leading the way in Class 8 and with 30 seconds advantage in that class. The course was changing now and new lines were being tried in order to keep hold of that lead. How's it been going this afternoon?
Yeah, no, we're doing all right at the moment. I think we're either first in class or somewhere near first in class, so I'm quite happy with that. Just got to try and keep it together for the rest of the afternoon. Make sure I don't break anything. Got a new line through the motocross track which is working for us at the moment, so yeah, we'll see how we get on from there.
Tom Rimmel moves up a couple of places in the results in these runs, taking 7th place now, still 2nd in the 7i class, with Marfell off in the lead of that at the top of the results. How's it been going this afternoon?
Yeah, very good. It's a lovely warm day. Track's getting faster. No, it's been a good event.
Any problems with the car or anything?
No, getting a little bit hot. I'm just blowing the radiator out, but no, other than that, it all seems fine. So no, it's been a really good event actually. It's getting drier. I think the track's getting a bit faster.
Rob Bull would still have his eyes on the Class 8 win, but with about half a minute to find, it wasn't going to be easy. More important though was making sure he got to the finish. How are we getting on this afternoon?
Yeah, going well, thank you. Yeah, it's just a case of finishing now, so just try and keep it clean and not get too carried away and too many mishaps.
Yeah, it's drying up a bit out there now.
Yeah, it is. It's hard to find the right line now, sort of go where the car takes you now at the back on the rough stuff. Yeah, but it's good, thanks, yeah.
Sadly for Bruce Mallet, it would be a slip down from 2nd to 3rd in Class 8 in these runs. The cause would be quite clear, the bonnet coming up on the car and forcing them to stop and put it back down before continuing to the end of the run. He now lies in 9th place overall.
You've got to go slow.
We did see you come round on the last run with your bonnet up.
Yeah, we were doing really well, doing well in our class, and yeah, the bonnet pins just snapped, so we couldn't see anything and hit a fence post. But 30 seconds lost. We'll see what we can do. Other people can have problems, punctures, can't they? We'll keep trying.
You got it stuck down for this run?
Yeah, loads of cable ties. Should be fine.
It had been a bad morning for James King and Sally Lewis, Punctures and a broken drive shaft first thing would put them off the pace. But thankfully, the afternoon was going better, and they move up to round out the top 10 by the end of run 6. Have things improved?
Yeah, the afternoon is going better actually. We're catching some time up now. We're gaining a few places. The course is drying out too, which is helping a little bit. I think we've got a long way to go before we get too far up, but they'll just keep pushing now. Thanks.
For Andy Kent, retirement at the top of the class means an inherited second in the class at this stage, lying in 17th place overall. How has this afternoon been going for you?
Good, yeah. Course seems to be getting a bit smoother. I don't know, all the rocks seem to be moving out to the outside, so yeah, great, going well. See if we can finish.
And of course, no change for Lee Potter as the only crew in Class 7. And no change to the overall times either, with 18th. How's it been going out there for you?
Fine, very good, yeah. No problems, apart from punctures. But that's the nature of it, isn't it?
Have you had many punctures today? Two.
Yeah, so we're doing very well, yeah, it's all going well. No issues, car's going well, perfect.
Tony Rooney manages 1 place gained to lie in 20th overall now. And of course, still with the Class 4 win looking likely. So at the end of run 6, it's a close battle at the top, and the results look like this. Plenty of action here so far at the All-Wheel Drive Championship. Join us after the break for even more off-road action. On to the final runs and the final results then. And it would be 18th overall for Tony Rooney, taking the Class 4 win. No change for Andy Kent, second in the 6i class, and ending the day with 17th overall. And for Lee Potter, it would be the Class 7 win and 16th overall, just 14 seconds ahead of Kent on the overall results. Keith Wild manages to work his way up the results in the final runs to take third in the 8i class, as well as lying just outside the top 10 in 11th overall. Change in Class 8 towards the end of the day as Rob Bull has problems and drops down from the top of the results and into 4th in the class. Which means all change above, with Scott Benwell reaching the end of the event with 3rd in the class now, as well as rounding out the top 10 overall with 10th. No change on the overall results for Bruce Mallet, remaining in 9th place overall to the finish. But he does pick up 2nd in Class 8 again, making up for the problems in the previous runs. James King and Sally Lewis managed to salvage something from a bad start to the event and end the day with 8th place overall and take 2nd in the 8i class as well. No change for Alex Day. He holds onto the Class 8 lead to the finish and takes the win, although he did drop a place overall to end the day with 7th place. A similar story for Simon Crowe, losing a place overall and ending the event with 6th place and keeping hold of that 6i class lead to the finish. Sadly for James and Philippa Tennant, it would be a last-minute move down to 5th place. The overshoot earlier in the day stood between them and a podium place. They miss out on 4th place by just a single second. And in that 4th place, it would be Tom Rimmel, moving up the results to lie just outside the podium places and take the 7i class win for the final round. And on to those podium places, and it would be all change with the early leader Bruce Tigwell unfortunately unable to keep hold of the lead to the finish, and in fact unable to keep second either, ending the event with third place overall, just 27 seconds back from second. And in that second place would be Martin Hounsell. He manages to climb above Tigwell on the results, but sadly not enough to take the win. A great run all day sadly wasn't enough, but second place amongst the competition this weekend was a good finish. And taking the win on only the second outing for the car was Adrian Marfell. As the course got faster, so did he, and proves the car is capable of some great results, taking the win by 13 seconds from Hounsell at the end of the day. So with round 8 complete, the results at the top look like this. Well, last time I spoke to you 3 stages ago, you said you were off the pace. I don't think this is off the pace.
Well, I think we've been lucky. We were perhaps caught a bit napping. Some of the cars were quicker than us. And like I said to you before, it's a new car, so we've been learning how to drive it. So we've had a bit of a push this afternoon. Last 3 laps, we sort of pushed, just got under 4 minutes on the last lap, which we were really pleased with. So, yeah, a bit of luck, really. We had a big moment on the top, and it did a massive wheel stand, and I thought, well, it was all going to be over. But we survived that one, thankfully, and eased off a touch.
It must fill you with lots of hope for next year.
Yeah, we're just really, really pleased because it was a car that we bought 12 months ago from France. We spent a long time converting it to right-hand drive. It's been, the last 2 events have been about learning just to make sure it's going to, hopefully cope with the terrain, which it has done. We got it back on the trail in one piece, so we're really pleased. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
And you guys, you 3 at the top, had a really good ding-dong in those last few stages.
It was quite a tussle because I don't watch the times, and then a couple of people said, oh, you're a bit behind, and that woke us up, I think, a little bit. So, yeah, it was quite a tussle to finish, which is great. It's nice for it to be really close. I think during the season, it has been, there's a couple of the top guys have been a minute ahead of everybody, and sometimes that's, it's difficult to chase that down. So it's nice to have a tussle. That was good. Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, second place, and you're also taking a bit of responsibility for that because you did tell someone to pull their finger out earlier, is what you said.
I did, yeah. Adrian Marfell was started off a bit on the slower side, and he's normally much faster than me on the like the faster sites like Waters. He's quite a bit faster than me normally. So I obviously said to him, well, you're obviously not liking the rougher sites because that's where I'm faster. And he said, oh, I haven't been checking the times. And then, like he said, and I told him what was going on, and he then pulled his fingers out and he started clawing me back in. And so I just managed to pit Bruce and get into first place overall for 1 lap. Adrian was 1 second behind me, and then said he managed to pull it back and was 1 second in front of me. But on the last lap, we had another puncture on the left rear again, so same place. So that obviously cost us some time, so we came in a couple of seconds slower. But Adrian destroyed us and did a 3:59, I think, sort of taking 12 seconds out of us or something. So yeah, but excellent day. Really enjoyed ourselves. So roll on next year. just got a car to rebuild now.
You've had a battle all afternoon, haven't you? It's very, very close at the
It
top.
was very close, yes, and it was good fun. It was very equally matched, and Adrian had the better of it, and Martin just pipped. So it was, but it was a good battle.
Is that the way you like it, when there's just a couple of seconds in it?
Absolutely right. That's proper racing, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Have you made your plans for next year yet?
Not fully yet, but I'll probably have another go next year and do the championship. Just depends on, we've got 4 months to go now, so the car's all in one piece, so I've got half a chance.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
A close battle here at Ebervale to bring the season to a very exciting end. But there will be plenty more to come in 2016, so we'll see you on the stages.